This is the plaintiff, Lori Gallo. She says her neighbor was walking her dog on a leash when the defendant's dog, a pit bull, attacked her. Her dog was badly bitten. He needed emergency veterinarian services, and the defendant hasn't paid her a penny. Her vet bills are a whopping $1,221.32, and that's just what she's suing for today. This is the defendant, Daniel Namoski. He says his dog was on a leash as well, and the plaintiff's neighbor asked if his dog was friendly. He told her if her dog is female, probably not a good idea, but she didn't listen to him. She let the dog come closer to sniff things out, and they got into a fight. Bottom line, he doesn't owe the plaintiff a thing because this is simply dogs being dogs. He's accused of causing some doggone injuries.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's pit bull ripped into her boxer, but the defendant says it's just a case of dogs being dogs. It's the case of boxer. He hardly knew her.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Lori Gallo,
Yes.
you are suing Daniel Namoski for
Yes.
$1,221.32 in vet bills
Yes.
because his dog attacked your dog.
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, I was not there.
Okay.
Beverly, my dog walker, was there.
Beverly, you tell me what happened,
Okay.
and then I'll come back to you. Tell me what happened.
Okay.
Well, I got the dog from Lori's house, and I start walking with her, and we came upon the defendant. And before I got,
What kind of dog is the dog you were walking?
it's a
Boxer
mix.
Okay. How? Do you have a picture?
Yes.
May I see it?
This is a picture of her now, but I have the other pictures of the case.
Yeah, I have. I have the pictures of the case. I wanted a picture of her. Kind of. She's a big dog. Good-looking dog. What's the name of your dog?
Honey.
Honey. Okay, so what happened? So you're taking Honey on a walk.
On a walk, and I saw the defendant coming up the block. So before we got to each other, I said to him, "Is your dog friendly?" And he said, "Yes." So I didn't think it was going to be a bad idea if they just walked past each other. So they stopped to sniff each other for a minute, and then his dog bit her on the neck.
Okay. Is Honey a girl or a boy?
A girl.
And so his dog was what kind of dog?
I believe it was a pit bull. He told me. I think it was a pit bull, but it was smaller, very small.
How'd that work out? Not the best idea to stop and sniff a strange pit bull, right? I mean, you're a dog walker.
Well, that's what dogs do when they see each other.
No, my dog doesn't.
Oh.
You know why? Because when I'm walking my dog and there's somebody walking their dog, I have sat through so many of these cases that my dog has no idea what another dog smells like. Dying to know, never gonna, because that makes me nervous, because all I do, I don't see the good encounters, I only see the bad ones, you see. Is your dog a pit bull?
Yes, it is.
What happened?
So I was meeting a friend, and I met at the crosswalk at the cross street, and then next thing you know, I see her from across the street walking towards us. So as I walked in towards us, I said, she did ask, is my dog friendly? I said, no. I said, at first I asked, is your dog a female dog? Female dogs.
Wait, no, tell me, don't jump around. The first thing that happens, she says, is your dog friendly?
She asked.
And you say?
I said, I first asked, is your dog a female? She said, yes. I said, my dog is not, doesn't do well with female dogs at all.
Oh, doesn't
do well with female dogs at all.
Is your dog a female or a male?
It's a female.
Okay.
So as she came closer, she goes, oh, she looks fine. I said, no. I said, it's not a good idea. Don't come near me.
You told her not to come?
I told her twice not to come. And then she kept walking, she came, and then they started sniffing. So I said, and I'm like, my dog was calm. They sniffed each other out. Everything was fine. I'm not going to say anything.
You just say sniffed and not. Go ahead.
They sniffed each other. I know. They sniffed each other out, and then everything was fine.
Apparently not.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
And so we started talking, and then I didn't notice things was a little strange, but I wasn't sure what. Then my dog did latch on, and then we got it off. But then that was it. And then they called an ambulance for her.
For her?
For her.
Not for the dog?
No, she was done. Like, she had people help her to the sidewalk, and she had to get sent off and make sure she was okay.
Because she was so emotional about it.
Emotional, yeah. But the dog acted fine. Everybody was saying that even the dog.
Well, but the dog wasn't fine. What ended up happening with the dog?
What ended up happening was she had to go to the animal hospital. I was on my way home from work when I got the call, and I met Beverly and her husband and a friend of ours at the animal hospital. And she was examined. She stayed overnight. She had to have surgery. She had stitches put in, a drain tube put in. I honestly don't know exactly. I don't know if it's in the report.
May I see the medical bill?
Yeah.
I don't get it. If the dogs don't know each other, and you don't think it's a good idea, and you're telling her, for the love of God, don't come near me, why do you then relent and let the dogs sniff each other? Why do you do it? Like, if you're concerned, yeah, it's a female dog, but everything looks fine, and you know your dog doesn't do well with females. Why do you know your dog doesn't do well with females?
Because when I got her from the shelter, that's what they told me. So, and then like I said, I didn't want any encounters. I didn't want anything like this to happen, just in case.
Right, but there's a way.
Exactly.
It's my way.
Exactly.
Just don't do this.
I did let my guard down on that point, because as she came closer to me, and I was like, all right. And then now I'm like, I also didn't want to seem rude either, but at the same time, it just was a bad idea. I know.
You know what? My dog's really skittish. It's not a good idea. Thank you. Have a good day.
I also have a notarized letter from the guy who was with me if you want this too.
Sure.
So if this defendant told the plaintiff twice, don't go near my dog, and the plaintiff went near the dog with the plaintiff's dog, is the defendant responsible for vet bills?
Unfortunately, I think the defendant is still responsible as a dog owner, but I would give out a warning and a warning and a warning, but I think in the court of law, the defendant, unfortunately, the owner is responsible.
What do you say?
I think that you got your warning. So if my dog bit you, oh well.
Now, is this, your dog is so sweet.
Yes.
Now, if I do this and your dog bites me, are you responsible?
Yes, if I didn't warn you. But if I warn you twice,
Okay,
then
you didn't warn me. You didn't warn me. You didn't warn me. Going inside the courtroom.
Ms. Gallo, you're the one person here who I can't yell at for behavior that you probably shouldn't engage in. And yet, you're the one person who's stuck paying the bill here,
Yes, I
and
am.
you want relief.
Yes.
So I've got a question that I have to imagine has crossed your mind, which is, what was your dog walker thinking, right?
Well, she told me exactly what she said, that she asked him if his dog was friendly, and he said yes.
Okay, do you deny that he said to you, my dog doesn't do well with females?
He never told me that.
Okay, so let's assume for a moment that what happens is two adults who say, who walk up to each other and they let the dog sniff each other. And the bad act is that the dog bit your dog. That's the dogs behaving badly. The adults did what? The adults both walked up and let the two dogs behave like animals. It's, in other words, we expect dogs to behave like animals. They are animals.
Right.
So how is it some bad act that he did that I have to punish? He didn't egg his dog on saying, get her, get her.
No.
He didn't let his dog off a leash. That's what I got to look at to make him pay for something.
Well, then he should have turned away. Him and his dog should have turned away and went in the opposite direction.
If he had advanced knowledge that there's something to that. If he had advanced knowledge that this might happen. And, but boy, I got to tell you, what about your dog walker, God bless you, who's walking her dog up to a pit bull? Walking your dog. I'm sorry. That's kind of the key information in that sentence. Walking your dog up to a pit bull. Because it's not really her decision to make whether things are going to go wrong today.
Right.
So you have information that your dog doesn't do well with female dogs, and that was a female dog, and then you let the encounter happen anyway. There's some culpability in that. I really believe that there's some culpability on your fault, too, for making the decision to put someone else's dog, not yours, heaven forbid if he warned you and you still thought it was cute and wanted to do it, which is what people always think. But even if he didn't warn you, there should be a modicum of common sense here. It's not your dog to make that decision on. Things like this can happen, especially with a pit bull, okay? So the other one who's completely blameless is you. and the only one you're suing is him. So, I mean, if you know and you've been given this information, then you should act on the information you were given. There's a reason why it was given to you. I'm going to order you to pay half of the bill, $610.66. I think you know where you have to go for the other half if you choose to do it. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So the judge decides the plaintiff will, or rather the defendant's going to have to pay half of the vet bill. Are you surprised at that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I shouldn't think I should have paid any of it, but
I mean, she did warn you that you were culpable to a degree because you didn't take your dog away, keep it away.
I agree with that a little bit. Yeah.
So you learned
next
how
time.
to handle a situation.
Yes, I
Were
have.
you at all nervous about rescuing a pit bull? I mean, they do have a pretty bad reputation, you know.
The reputation depending how you train it, but with
True.
with people, it's fantastic. So it just the dog thing, you just got to be more careful with.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, here comes the plaintiff now, Ms. Gallo. You're going to get half of what you were actually seeking from her. You heard the judge. She kind of said, if you want to get the rest of it, you got to go after your dog walker.
Right. Well, I disagree. I'm sorry. I totally disagree. I think he should have paid the full amount. What he said, it's different because Beverly told me different. The two of them have different stories. And also what he said was not mentioned in the police report.
Well.
But it is what it is.
All right.
Yes.
Beverly, let me ask you a quick question. I really didn't hear what happened to you at the time when it happened.
I was in shock.
That's what I heard. We heard you were in bad shape.
I was in bad shape. I was crying.
They called an ambulance for you?
Yes, I refused to go.
And what did you do with the dog while you were in bed?
I don't know. Somebody took the dog. They took the dog.
They did?
Yes. I had no idea what was going on. I was in such shock.
Maybe you shouldn't be walking dogs.
Maybe not.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, I'm sorry it happened to you. How is the dog?
Much better, thank you.
It's
much,
doing
much
okay.
better,
Okay,
thank God.
so sorry this happened. We always hate to hear this.
Yes.
Thank you very much, okay?
Thank you.
Very good,
Thank you.
okay. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, look, the plaintiff could sue the dog walker for half, but it sounds like she's not going to do it.